Hey, I was trying to get this thing to work. Sorry about that. Me and this computer, no matter how early I get onto this thing, I get onto this thing, doing everyone. We are all okay, everyone. Just trying to get the thing to get off. It's not coming off. Yeah, it's coming off. So, hello everybody. Now, wow, finally. Hello everyone. Hope you're doing okay. To our show, The Happy. Hey God, I'm mixing it all up. Welcome to our show, The Mongolo Croonings with Abby and friends. It's been a bit of a rough day because sorry, I don't know what happens on my mic. Yeah. Anyone who is in the art world would have heard about the sudden loss of the amazing, iconic director, film producer, writer, actor himself, B. Bandele Thomas, um, popularly known as B. Bandele. It's just a shock to the system. It's a total shock to the system because it's 54. There was no incident about him, and it's a shock to my system because over the couple of years we've become quite friendly, and we would laugh and I used to do. For those of you who know me for a while, I used to do and everything. And he had gotten all these deals with Netflix. He had already done Blood Sisters. He had done Half of a Yellow Sun earlier, and all of that. And we're looking forward to great and amazing things. And then he just passes like that. It's really, really sad. So yeah, it's been tough because it's like now waiting now. I mean, if people in their 90s and who are in their so much to offer. So yeah, it's a bit of a well, welcome yourself, please.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah,
Can't hear you.
oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
You're very, very low.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Mr. H, can you hear me?
Yes.
Very well.
Yeah.
Good. So, I see that Abby's network is really, really bad. Mm, So, Abby, I think you have to log out and log in again. How is my sound quality? Is it good? Mr. H?
Yeah, it's
Mr.
good.
Oh, okay, okay. So, Abby, I think you have to log out and log in again. Let me take her out the studio so she can come in again. Same thing. Okay, so how are you doing today now? How has it been? Hello, everybody. Sorry, I just came in like this, working in the background as usual to get the show running and up and running. Abby's having a bit of technical problems with her setup. I don't know what is going on. I don't know what's going on with her, but I just hope she can. Okay, yeah. So she'll come back very shortly. So, yeah, today was fine. Abby was telling us something about a film producer she personally knew that passed on recently. I've forgotten his name just now. I heard us mention the name, but she'll soon be back to tell us more about the details. Other than that, how have you been? uh, okay, so how have you been doing? How's your day? I know we were together yesterday at your brother's birthday, but
Mm.
generally, how's today been like for you?
It's okay, no problem. We thank God, everything's okay.
Sure.
On your side?
Well, I'm great. Nothing, we're just there. Nothing mega, as they say.
Mm.
So, in order not to waste so much time, we've spent 40 minutes already. Okay, so we decided last week to continue with the subject matter, which is having high expectation, and having this sense of entitlement and rejection after a relationship. Uh, we had a lot of interesting viewpoints last week, and I was hoping that this week we'll turn it up and make it more interesting and see where it leads to. Because, oh, sorry. Okay, have it here. Hey, happy
Oh,
fast.
good
Happy
evening.
fast.
Good evening.
Hey, why are you looking like, in movies, women who dress like this, they're usually up for vengeance. It's like they want to do something very evil to
Actually,
a guy or not to anybody. It's usually to a guy. They have this kind of vengeful plot when they dress like this.
you never know. You never know.
What's going on? But I know I didn't do anything to you, so what's going on?
Oh yeah. I'm trying to take off my hair,
Oh,
and yeah. Since you've done yourself to, yeah, I was trying to take it off.
no, I'm not a
Um,
psychologist. I'm just saying I see it in movies, like when you see ladies dressed like this.
yeah, but sometimes you just want to change the look. You see,
So everybody is safe.
maybe you never know, depending on what you did tonight.
Okay, I'm not too sexy. Hey, happy fast.
It's
As in,
boiling hot here. It is very hot.
the,
It is
the, the heat wave stuff is the situation is still on.
It's very hot. It's very hot.
Sorry, sorry to hear. Wait, I told you to remove some money from your, to buy that high-powered split unit, or is it AC? What was our discussion again the other day? Yes, I told you to go get
Hey,
this.
I'm a gold digger. So I'm looking for somebody to get it.
What if so how was your day?
Um, when I say gold digger, everyone like I'm gold digger. I'm not supposed to say that.
Whenever
But
she calls her gold diggers, it's strictly for Dangote. Okay, so any of you out there who know Dangote one on one,
yeah,
the girlfriend, yeah. So she's here.
most of my friends are very stingy. Oh. They don't want to connect me. I don't know. Maybe they are stingy. Mr. H.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did to these people. By the way, you guys were looking great. Wow.
Who
Wow.
who's that?
I should come to South Africa and come and you people to back come and borrow you people for picture. Just for picture. You know,
Oh,
just to do pepper them.
it's our winter here.
Easy.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's our winter here, so we're not
just to do
so.
pepper them, you know. Just come here, take pictures, say, oh my god, oh my goodness, my new catcher.
It's what do they call it? It's our winter here, so we are going to keep enjoying like this until. In fact, to be sincere with you, here in South Africa,
When is your summer?
who is that? Our summer starts officially. I think it's around December, January, right?
Is
Am I
it?
right? Yeah, it's
I
around
should
that time.
go.
Yeah. So what happens usually is that people fly in from the northern hemisphere, right? People usually, oh, I'm here, make una know the fire.
Hey, see your people are here.
Good
You're
evening.
here. I can see that that's
So
your
actually,
brother.
yeah, that's my my brother. So what happens is that people usually fly in from overseas, usually the northern hemisphere. They come here during summer, during our summer period.
Yeah, because
Like
your
they
summer. Yeah, because your summer is actually gonna be like the very, very winter time here. So it's a good
yeah.
idea. Oh gosh. Hey, pepper
For those
them.
for those who don't know what she's talking about, yeah, what
Yeah, you guys are not looking bad at all.
uh,
You
uh,
know how they always borrow celebrity to come and take picture now. We just do okay, flash, yells, yes, smile for the camera. We just do that. No, no, you are taking for here too.
why is Memo black? Who's
You cannot see the person.
Memo? Are you doing something
No, there's no light though.
bad?
Uh-uh.
Oh, Jesus.
God.
You said
Hmm?
what?
Kidding. I
Jesus
said
is
never don't do
Lord.
you.
Jesus is Lord. Hey, ayé mi tèmi bá mi.
Is that?
Oh, manage.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I
manage.
think it was that big.
Memo. Memo, always keep your phone at the horizontal position. That way, this is filled up.
Let her even see road first now. You see that there is no light. Just see easy.
Okay, see you later. I'll do technicalities. Don't worry.
Mhm, still change it.
Okay. So
Horizontal
how
position.
yeah, doesn't your phone have this auto rotate stuff? Auto rotate.
I
It
don't
doesn't
know.
rotate. Oh, okay. Let's manage it like that. So have you tell us how, apart from the heat, what happened? What
Yeah,
were you?
my day wasn't that bad. I was busy back to back at work. I was very tired this morning. I feel like I should just do like all this rich auntie vibe. And this is why I need Dangote, you know. I just like, okay, just wake up in the morning, like, you know what, I've got nothing to do. I don't want to do anything. Um, but I've got no choice. I did do the work and I kicked some people's ass today. at work, like, oh, you guys are not doing this, you need to do this, you need to, like those big boss kind of thing. And
As usual.
well, not as usual, but they needed to be, these Oyinbo people now. They needed to just be giving this
They don't like it when they take instructions from people.
sorry?
Like I know they don't like it when they have to take instructions from
No,
people.
no, these Oyinbo, small Oyinbo wey I don't learn since when I don't reach here. I don't go fit blow am when. So I was like, no, you're not supposed to do this. This is not how to do it, blah, blah. Even me, I was listening to myself, like, calm down, be calming down. I'm like, no, this is not acceptable. You can't continue doing this. You can't do that, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, because I day house now, I finish, I just go eat bigger bar. Say, me, I don't send anybody.
Oh well, you look well. You don't sorry. You don't look like someone who was being stressed per se.
No, like it wasn't. I think it wasn't majorly of a stress. I think it was just the fact that some days, had a face off with someone yesterday, and it was an interesting face off. And yeah, and I woke up this morning, I was feeling a bit like very sluggish and all of that. But at the end of the day, the show must continue. You gotta
Okay,
get
good.
right, you gotta work. And other than that, yeah, it wasn't really. And I saw one handsome guy today as well.
Okay, that's for later. We'll discuss that one later. First, wait, later,
Oh,
later.
sure.
Save that one.
You are the one that asked me
Maybe
for my day, and I was
no,
telling you my
no,
day. That's you
eh,
shutting me off. That's you
eh,
shutting me off,
no,
and it's
no,
not
no.
acceptable.
Information is becoming. No, we'll discuss that one. You know how we'll discuss that one. So let's move on to Maymoon. What's Maymoon? What was
Hey, my cousin. Did David tell you that we went to Mexican?
yeah, I
Ah,
saw.
no, I'm not having to gist them. Oh, internet was trying to fight me. Imagine,
We
internet
went
is
to
trying to fight me,
Mexico,
pa.
me and Abby.
Are
Oh
you serious?
God. Oh gosh. It was so beautiful.
Wow,
We
What?
had a great time.
that's nice. I'm happy to see.
And my
At
and
least
my and my children, they were like, "Oh, I love this Auntie Happy." And Abby was showing me chanty vibe for them. And they're like, I like this Auntie. I was saying, you will like it. Give me the money, let me keep. Give me the money, let me keep. And they didn't
You
allow
wanted
me.
to do Nigerian wayo for them and say, give me the money, let me keep. I was like, no, thank you, ma.
We didn't
They
even
can keep
allow.
it.
They didn't even allow me. They're already calculating the money. They're like, this is how we're going to spend it. Like, I said, these are children.
It wasn't even a lot. It wasn't even money that was money. Oh. It was just the small change I had in my
And
bag.
this is our culture though, but you brought the life to them because obviously they see people do it, and when they see you do it, they're like, this Nigeria auntie. So in all the next Nigeria aunties that they're going to see now, they're going to have three parts. Do you understand? Like, okay, let me behave well. Maybe this Nigerian auntie can, so they loved it. Thank you so very much.
But
Yeah.
no, we had a really good time. Thank you because you cheered me up because I needed to leave the house. I needed to just, unwind and everything, and just come to spend time with you and your kids really made my day. So thank you for that. So enough of the farming. Sorry, yo. I don't know
Sorry.
what my internet is like
Um,
you and this show today. I will show you Pepe. That's what my internet has been doing. So I apologize. So who's talking?
okay. So Maymoon is supposed to tell us how they went. Maymoon, Maymoon.
I'm struggling to hear you run.
Now,
It's not so loud.
oh, are you guys serious? I'm very low.
it's not bad actually. Me, I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you very well.
I can hear you very clearly, Abby. But Ron is so is his volume is very low. It's good. At least he will stop harassing me with his voice. So yeah, continue.
Can you hear me now? Is it loud
Yes,
enough?
I can hear you
Okay.
now. Mr.
Okay.
H,
So,
darling. My sweetheart did not
Yeah.
even look at me. What
so where is
happened?
Maymoon? Where is Memo?
My love, what happened now?
This dangerous human being. That's who you keep calling my
Be
love, my
careful,
this.
yo. All this love that
Leave
you're
me and
doing.
Mr. H. Our love is us that understands what is happening here.
Please. I'm
Okay,
Yeah,
since we are
Mr.
flushing.
H. I was there thinking that as soon as I came in, the light in your eye will just come on. That yes, my sweetheart
So
has
you went
entered.
off
He
again. You
told
went
me
off
pata
again.
pata. Eh?
okay,
You went out again. Your internet.
It's the
o-
internet. It's not me now. You should know now. I will never ever abandon you.
okay.
That's
Okay. Can we start, Ron?
Yeah.
Because time.
So back to what I was saying.
Jealousy is doing them.
Okay, I don't. In what order do we proceed, Abby? Do we go with Hamza's unique tender hearts, or we do it mid or after the
yeah.
show?
I think
When
Nidu
do
is
we
fine.
do? When do we do Hamza's orphanage
Oh yes,
advert?
in fact, let's do it now because we always forget.
Okay, so let's. And Abby did not send me anything, so this is not my fault. Abby cannot knock me for this.
I don't know
It's
whether
Abby
it's
did
my father that makes me not to be able to hear, but
all right.
so okay, Abby did not send me anything, so you people
We've
don't
repeated
hold
that.
me responsible. Okay, so this is I think this is it's called tender. What do you call it again? Oh,
Unique.
okay. Ifeanyi is here. Okay, Ifeanyi, we should give you your props later. So it's called unique tender heart. So most of you don't know, but this gentle looking guy called Mr. H, aka Hamza, aka Abby's interest, object of interest, is actually a philanthropist slash humanitarian. So he runs
that's
an
why I
NGO.
love him.
Can I finish? He runs
Sorry,
an NGO. Oh
Please,
God.
can we be serious now, Abby?
yes,
Okay.
Thank
ma.
you.
Sorry, ma.
He
Thank you.
runs a okay. He runs an NGO called Unique Tender Hearts here in Cape Town, South Africa. So
Ron, can
he's
you
been
put
doing
some live, please?
yeah, he's been doing it for like 2 years now. How many years have you been running it now?
Maybe 4 years. Like
Yeah, so he's been doing it like 4 years. Yeah, because I remember he's been doing it for a while. He also has a prison ministry too, where he visits not just orphanages. He's always busy visiting, people. So this is him at one of the orphanages, and this is another one where the children got Colgates, and here are some videos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this one is part of the okay.
Oh, that's so lovely.
What happens to the audio?
Okay, so you've got it. So that's what he does. So immediately, in fact, after the show, I'm going to leave. I'm going to edit in or leave links to his details on how to reach him. If you like what you see, you want to support the program, I'll leave link. Or Mr. H, I think you should better change.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll tell
exactly. I
you.
was about to say Mr. H should speak for himself. Yeah.
Tell us what.
yeah,
I
yeah,
finished talking.
2 minutes.
yeah. 2 minutes.
Like
And
testimony time in church.
yeah, it's just about to support the. It's just like an African child initiative because everybody's a product of the African child, and just the struggle. And I just feel that we have these kids there in the orphanage. There, you see, some of them are abandoned on the street. Like the lady will say, some of them, their parents just leave them, and the woman take them in, and they have like a home that is from 0 to 16 years, and we've been going there for over 4 years now. Most sometimes every month, I get baby things all over the whole place, and I box them, buy a lot of groceries. I have friends that support me, in the initiative as well, and that's basically what I do. And I do the prison ministry because we have a lot of brothers in prison there for years, and some of them have lost hope, especially the African ones. People from Nigeria, Mozambique. Some of them, their family don't know that they're there. So we go there, we give them encouragement, we pray with them, and sometimes we are correspondent to their family. Some people are from Nigeria, they are there for 2, 3 years. Their parents don't even know they are there. So sometimes we get contact, we try to contact their family to say, oh, this guy, you've not heard from your son for over 2 years. He's in prison here, and this is what he has done. And if you guys can organize it, we are not able to allow to get lawyers for them or give them anything, because that's not our own. Is just to see that they are spiritually sound, because most of them commit suicide there, and a lot of things goes wrong, and so that's what I do. So what I'm saying, but my point here is for the show to uh, support this project. There's a project coming up probably next week, and probably we need to buy a lot of groceries, clothes. We have clothes already, box them, and take it there for them. And it should be like from the show, from the platform, that is going to them. I was thinking of printing a sticker, like the what. Why I box those things is because you can see the smile on the kids' face when they open the boxes, because they don't know what is in the boxes. So I seal them. When they open it, you can see the smile on their face. That is exactly what we want to portray, to put a smile on every child's face. And you can see the clothes there, all over the whole place. Sometimes like 15, 20 boxes. And we go buy groceries where they buy in bulk, and we take it there for the mama and every of them. So I get a list from them, because sometimes they don't eat what we eat. They eat their own kind of rice, impala, Ron will tell you. So I get the list, I go there, and I drive there sometime during the weekday, because it's in a location. I'm sure if you don't understand what a location is, just like Morocco, that's kind of thing. So I used to
Okay.
go there during the day, because if we go there during the weekend, everybody's at home and the place is squatched. So I go there probably on a Monday or Tuesday, when the place and the kids are there, always happy to see me. I go with a lot of friends, like we've gone there for over 4 years, month in, month out, like that. But I just think it's the right thing to do. It's just an African child initiative, because we came from the hood school of hard knocks. So we just thank God that we need to always put
And
smile
here.
on there. There's the mama there, the mama that owned the educare. And yeah, we've been going there for years. And so I want support from our platform here, and I just want to do stickers and put the emblem on it. Abby can send it to me, so I can give it to the printer to print it as a sticker to stick on the to seal the boxes, so that when they open it, yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you guys.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
very much.
Yeah,
It's nice to know that we have human beings like you thinking like human beings. Well, that's nice, and hopefully that just keep us posted in the group after the show so that
yeah, okay.
Abby's frozen again. So Abby is frozen again. So Happy Fast, you see now I'm going to turn his into a video so we can do it later in subsequent shows. Happy Fast, you failed to send us your own, and now your beneficiaries will suffer because you didn't obey simple instruction. Simple
Yeah,
is
we'll have to talk about it, and then in the coming weeks, and we'll send it.
okay.
I
Good.
could send it to the chat as well.
This is
Uh,
one of the few shows in the world that has two humanitarians doing human things, taking care of human beings. And I'm
thank
proud to be associated with good
thank you.
people like you guys. So Happy Fast is not all about the glamour and the gold digging. It is also a human being who cares, who loves children and the underprivileged in the society. So, okay, so I think we've taken 35 minutes now.
Okay, I'm just going to talk about.
Sorry, I was about to. I don't know what happened. My thing froze. Mr. H, I told you 2 minutes and 15. You were still talking. True. But I
So
Um,
Oh,
This is what I'm going to say. From the I've already pledged our support. We can't physically be there, but we will try and put some money through. I don't think we should waste money doing stickers. Just
Okay.
put the boxes together because that's money to do stickers. That money can go towards more things for the
follow it.
kids.
I'll
Just
follow
let them know.
to take photos and
uh,
show you guys.
uh,
Exactly. So yeah, so we would put something together. You know,
Oh,
everybody, whatever little they can put together, it will become something, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
exactly.
So let's go back to the topic. So thank you very much, Mr. H, for that. It's one of the reasons why I adore you so much. So
Oh,
thank you so
can
much
you
for everything.
get on with this?
I'm going
This thing?
to the topic. You calm down because I'm not singing your praises. It's paining you. Be calm. Be calming down for Jesus, okay? So
Yeah.
we're talking about, rejection because we talked about expectations and entitlements last week. We didn't really look at rejection, about being able to accept rejection, the best ways to go about rejecting something. So, is there anyone who wants to talk about either being rejected and how they accepted it, or how they had to go about rejecting someone and saying, okay, you know what, I've looked at this isn't working? Anyone?
I think Mr. H is a good candidate to start first.
Okay,
I've
Mr.
rejected
H.
someone before.
They said we should start with you.
Sorry,
Yeah.
is that Malara? Okay, sorry, I didn't hear.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
what were you
okay.
saying? We're listening to you.
Oh, okay. Rejection. It's a very deep and sensitive topic,
Mm,
um, and a lot of us don't know how to handle rejection. Is this popular slang that goes around now? I'll serve you breakfast and all of that.
mm,
And especially when children are involved, from my experience, personal experience, and few people that I know, Nigerian men, they really do not know how to handle rejection, and they take it so badly that they start taking it out on the children, believing that by doing so they're punishing the woman.
mm,
And by the time they then realize what they're doing, they have ruined their own life, because the time they're supposed to know and bond with their kids, they are more focused on the rejection that has come from their mother, you know. And
mm.
I really think a lot, we should talk more about it, that African men needs to learn that a woman can always leave you, but your children would always be your children. So they need to learn
Yes.
where to draw the line, that okay, you are leaving, you're no longer my wife, but my children are still my children. You not being part of your children's life or not looking after your children, you're not punishing the woman. I mean, it could be more load on her, it could be more hours for her to work, to make the kids happy. But at the long run, you're the one that is losing out, because these kids are not going to be kids forever, and they're seeing what is happening, and they will build their own conclusions and opinions based on what they're seeing. So you don't come at I have a lot of friends that goes, oh, their mother has turned them against me, and I keep telling them, no, you turned your kids against yourself, because you had left the gap while you were busy sulking like a baby. Oh, she left me. Oh, she this. Oh, she that. Oh, she broke my heart. Oh, the kids are moving on. She's moving on with the kids, and you're losing out. So I think it's more for we, as much as women are very, very emotional and all of that, we seem to know how to handle rejection better than the men, at least Nigerian men, for all I know. And I think it would have been same worldwide, if not that the Western world has a better government, whereby the government looks out for the welfare of the children. If it were to be like Nigeria, I think even the Western world would be the same. So I think we need to talk more about it to educate our men that when handling rejection from your woman, it's very easy for you to lose. It's a thin line between you not handling rejection well and you losing out on your children's life.
Okay.
Well,
So, Mr.
talking
H,
from experience.
um, can you address that, please?
Yeah, you mean high
Thank you very
expectation?
much,
Yeah,
Amala.
you mean high expectation, entitlement, and rejection? Yeah.
Rejection in
Um.
relation.
So
Rejection is
Most.
what we're talking about now. Rejection.
rejection, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Most people. Most people when they're going probably into a relationship or probably asking somebody out, maybe not, maybe just for, let's say, a drink, maybe, okay, like, can you take you out for a drink or something? Most men, I would say, they have an expectation, you know. And what I would say is that we just, to me, we just need to be disciplined. We just need to when a lady say no, is no, you should walk away from it, because at times it leads to things that we would not expect. But some people don't want to be rejected. Don't would some men don't want to hear a no. And this has caused a lot of discord in the society. And I'll give an example about somebody that I know. The person was fixing my phone for me. I have an iPhone. I don't know what I asked him to fix in the iPhone. So I kept it with him, but I kept on going there and he wasn't around. I kept on going there, he wasn't around. So the other time I went there, then the other guy called me. He said, I'm sure you're coming to look for this guy all the time that you come here. I said, yes, I'm coming to look for this guy all the time. He said to me, my brother, let me tell you the truth. This guy that's fixing your phone is in prison. And I was like, what? He said, okay, this is what happened. He took a girl out, just like, okay, come and have a drink with me. And he took the girl out and he was having expectation, you know. And the girl said, oh, I reject you. Okay, after drinking, they said, let us go home, like the normal thing. The girl said, no, I'm not, I don't want to go home with you. I don't want to go home with you. And the guy got, then they were got into the car and they were arguing. The guy said, look, the lady said, thanks for your drink. I enjoy your drink. I enjoy talking to you and the interaction, but I am not, I don't want you and I'm rejecting you. Okay, let me go my own way. And the guy, and then they decided this argument, and I think the lady broke the windscreen of the guy's car just right here. And you know what happened to what the guy did? The guy picked a stone and hit the girl on the head, and the girl died.
Hey.
He couldn't accept rejection
Ah,
at that stage because he felt entitled. And so 2 weeks ago, when I went to the prison ministry, boom, I went to his room. He was very shocked to see me, very, very shocked to see me. When I walked into the room, he was the one standing at the gate. And I asked him, now, see what you have done to yourself. You should have just walked away. Some people cannot handle rejection. And now he's facing 25 years there. Only because he could not just walk
Hey.
away
wọ́n gbé
because
o.
of because of the drink that he bought. He hit the girl with a stone on the floor, and the girl died there. And the police came, and this is a foreigner in a foreign land. So sometimes
Jesus.
we men need to be man enough to handle rejection, to walk away, to say, okay, she doesn't want me. I'll try my luck another time. And some women may be testing you to see the kind of man that you are. If you walk away, they may probably text you later that, okay, you're a man that when I say no, I mean no. You respect my body and I respect you too. And when I went to the salon to shave my hair, I was educating them there. They were talking about the guy, and I was educating them there. And those guys were saying, no, why would you buy a drink for a woman? You take a woman out, you buy
How
expensive
much
stuff.
was the drink?
No, no, they were the guys there in the salon were arguing that, why did he do that? Why would he not do that? The guy was saying, if I was the one, I will beat the girl. I said to them, look, you are not a weak man. Learn to walk away at times. And they were all looking at me. They said, learn to. I said, because if you don't walk away, what you will incur, you might not handle it. So sometimes you should be able to walk away from rejection. And it's not the end of the world. Like my late stepfather used to say, it's not the end of the world. There are women out there that you can still talk to and they can still say yes to you, and you can still try your luck. If the woman says no to you, doesn't mean she says no. Tomorrow she can change. There's a lady that told me one time that she would never date me. Maybe she was drunk. I don't know. Then after again, I tried my luck, and she said she never remember saying that to me. How can she reject a man like me? You know, things are like that. So men should be able to handle rejection, and women must be able to learn not to lead a man on, because you can lead
Uh,
some men on when it is time to
sorry,
do that, and you say no, they can deal
sorry,
with you. That's my
focus on
own.
the subject and
Yeah,
stop promoting yourself.
yeah.
Continue. Stop talking about how they missed you or they. Tell
Ah,
me
ah,
the story.
Yeah,
ah,
tell us.
bad belle, your bad belle is epic.
See about this unnecessary.
But no,
promo-
seriously, I was discussing with a friend recently, and we're talking about the culture of ego. And it seems like with African men, there's this culture of ego that is taught to them, that they're brought up in. Because when you look at, and I was explaining to my friend yesterday, we were actually having that talk yesterday. I said, I've dated Nigerians and I've dated white guys, right? And my ex-fiance was white, and we were together in my house, but I never for one day had to say to him, oh, help me with the dishes, or why did you leave your clothes on the floor, or aren't you going to help me? Nothing. I never ever had that conversation, because for him, I may, I take it also the way it was brought up, but is not just him that I've noticed that with. It's just a natural thing. I live in the house. This is the house that I live in. So we clean it. We don't have to discuss about who is cleaning, who is doing what. If he got home before me, he will go and start cooking. He might call me and say, oh, what are we having for dinner? And if I say, you know what, whatever you make is fine, then he makes something. If I say, oh, I have something in mind, then he will bring out everything that I need to prep for the food. He will bring it out. There was never an issue of, I'm a man, why should I do this? But with African men, it's so different. It's like,
And
it,
excuse me. Back
from
to
my
the subject.
experience, from my experience.
You are so
Rejection, not
on
to
point,
continue the
and
house.
I have lived
Wait,
both lives. Ron, you don't have anything in this matter. I've
wait,
lived
oh,
Let
wait,
me
oh,
let
wait,
me
I've lived
finish
wait.
both
now.
lives.
Why
No,
are
no,
you
she
always
continue.
interrupting? Let me finish.
No, let's
Abby
focus
is
on
so
rejection.
correct. I've lived
I
both
agree,
lives.
she's correct, but we are discussing rejection today. So
And
let's
that's
talk
what I'm
about
getting to now. You didn't let
um,
me land. Let me land. Maybe I'm the one talking.
beginning, no ad.
Don't
Yeah, so
don't don't monitor how I'm going to talk. Let me get to where I'm going to. So with African men is like this whole thing of, oh, I'm the man, da, da, da. And if a woman should dare say, you know what, today I'm not cooking, or today I'm not clean, or just like I reject the status quo that you expect of me. Is as if that's when all the you're an African woman, hey, you are not brought up well, everything that they can use against you, like they are going to die. You actually hear some men whose wives died, they'll be like, who's going to cook for me now? Who was cooking for you before you married? Like it's like, and yet they'll be like, oh, I'm the man, I'm the big G, I'm the this and the that. And yet, once that woman refuses or exits her services, is as if the world has come to an end. And when we're going back to what Omalara was talking about, parents, fathers who, because they want to punish their wife. I mean, someone was speaking to me earlier this year, like trying to see about, dating and all that. And what made me cancel that guy out was the guy was complaining about his kids coming to ask him for money for something. And he said, I give their mother child support. Why are they coming? And I was like, I'm sorry. Your kids came to ask you for money, and the automatic place you went to is give their mother child support. And it's the same question I asked Mr. Consequence when they were talking about bride price. When somebody on the show was talking about bride price, I said, how much exactly is the bride price? Can you equate it to that woman's life? Same thing, your child support. Can you equate the amount you are paying to if you were in the house? They're going to eat, they're going to sleep. There's electricity bill, there's water bill, there's a school bus, there's this. They want to wear this, they want to go out there, they want to eat this. By the time that money that you think that you have paid there is the most amazing thing, it will be nothing. But this whole
Ron
thing of,
is
oh,
about to
I want to
bust.
punish the
Ron is
woman.
about to bust.
No, no, no.
Ron is about
Actually,
to bust.
I'm actually doing something else. No, 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 no. I'm not. I'm doing something.
When I'm talking, he's always doing something else. It's okay. You know, it's a simple. It's crazy. Like, how can you think it is okay to punish your children because you're mad at your wife? Children that you climbed on top of her, you most likely even harassed her. That we've been married 6 months, you are not pregnant yet. Blah, 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 blah. She now get the belly, have the children, and now because you're mad at her, you now start punishing children that did not ask you to bring them to the world, that have got nothing to do with what is going on. And then and especially Yoruba men, because I will talk about the people I know.
Thank you.
Yoruba
And
men will now,
precisely
they will
from Ogun
abandon.
State.
I'm sorry, please let me just finish that now. I'll let you. They will abandon their children in the name of they want to punish their ex. They will abandon their children. They won't give money, nothing. The woman will now suffer. She will go up and down, doing everything, sell everything to make sure that her children go to school, make sure that they are okay. When they are now grown, you will now see the father will now show up at graduation. Or worse still, the girl or the guy wants to get married. The father will now show up and say, if they've not taken permission from him, no marriage is going to hold. Who are you? And then they get upset. They now say, is their mother that told? No, dude, you did all that by yourself. You did all that bad by yourself. Because children are not stupid. They see what's going on. They observe. You're not there. When their mother calls to ask you for money, they can hear you screaming down the phone, yelling about how much you have to pay and all of that, saying that so they to already to them they are an inconvenience to you, because that's all they can hear from you, that these children you're coming to come and ask me for money because you want to eat. As if, how can I be cooking for children and I'll not eat because somebody gave me £2,000 for the month or whatever, so I will not eat because the 2,000 is strictly for the children. So if I'm feeding, if I go and buy yam now, from that 2,000, me, I have to go and look for corn to go and eat to prove that I'm not touching his money. It's madness. So Nigerian men need to fix up. Yoruba men need to fix up, because now you see a lot of children telling their mothers, if I don't even want to talk to him, I don't want him at my wedding, I don't care, I don't want him there. I don't, in fact, if he comes, he should sit down and shut up his mouth. I don't want to hear pim from him. And then they'll be like, it's their mother that turned them against you. You did all that bad by yourself. Who next? Abby.
Okay. Wait, sorry. Before the next person speaks, now that you've taken us to Sokoto, right? Can you kindly take us back to the issue of handling rejections in relationships? I enjoyed your story. Honestly, it was touching. But let's talk about rejection in relationship. And
You
now,
sometimes you can be
um,
so silly. What is I
can you,
took you to Sokoto is a simple case. If you and your partner are not on the same page,
I
especially when
agree.
you have children, especially when you have children, you see that whole pain of, oh, my ego has been bruised. The woman, there was a case about 6 years ago through Finn. I know you don't like to. Finn is like a devil word to you. Through Finn, the man abandoned the woman and her 3 children because she had girls, and she moved on with her life. He took everything he could take. She moved on with her life and started taking care of her 3 children. And then she found a man who was happy with her and her 3 children. The guy was so upset that she didn't come crawling back to come and beg him to take her. She didn't make out that he was her life and her existence, therefore she couldn't live without him. He actually went and arranged for her legs to be broken and the boyfriend to be beaten. Last time I heard of her, she was still using the wheelchair. The guy now ran away to America. They were trying to extradite him back to Nigeria. And this is the whole thing about rejection, accepting rejection. Relationship, we get them. You know what? Shikena, if they're kids, focus on your kids, take care of them, make sure that you provide for them. Leave the woman alone. She has the right and the prerogative to say, I know do again. But you see that ego, you have heard of a guy who the girl broke up with him. He was upset that, how dare she break up with him? He went to beg her, please take me back. He beg. Oh, the girl said, okay, I've taken you back. Say, sure, you've taken me back. Say, yes. Okay, I break up with you. Just because he wanted to say, I'm the one that broke up with you. He went through all of that. It's crazy.
Yeah, thank you for finally coming back to the subject. I really
Abby,
appreciate
please
your,
speak.
your
Speak.
forthright.
Okay,
Because
so
Can we?
Mr. Moderator that is not doesn't know what he's talking about.
tonight I'm going to think slightly differently. And where I'm going is, who are those people who train those men? Who are
I
the people?
I don't know. I don't know who I
Oh, I
don't
think
know
Who
I
who
have I
brings
have
up
an
these
answer for
men.
you, Abby. No, Abby,
Sorry?
I have an answer. I have the
Okay,
answer to that.
go
Okay,
on.
so what we're seeing now is the pandemic that our mothers and our grandmothers had created in the name of training their male child to be male. Male in the sense of, I'm speaking now for Yoruba culture, I'm a Yoruba woman. Male in the
Mm-hmm,
sense of what their understanding of what a man is and who a man should be is. So
mm-hmm,
I'll give you an example, and I'm sure Ron will be shocked. I normally don't talk about my private life. I'd been with a
Mm,
man that told me that his mother practically put her life on hold just to attend to him, his siblings, and his father. And that in Yoruba, ọmọ lèrè obìnrin, nígbà táwọn ọmọ bá dàgbà wọn á tọ́jú ìyá wọn, meaning that a woman is expected to live a life in suffering and sacrifices all her life, so that at her old age her children will come back and be looking after
Our
her by
female
buying her,
children.
yeah, by buying her clothes, taking her to the abroad, buy her a nice car and a driver. So the women that has trained these men are trained them based on the understanding they have of what life was in their own days. The problem is these men had failed a very few out of maybe one out of 20, because I remember one of his friends called us, to speak to us, and he was addressing his friend that, look, I used to think about you. Now I treat my wife differently. I take my wife out for dinner. I assist my wife with this and with that. And when we left the place that night, I remember him telling me that, oh, the wife has given him a four to eat. And don't get it twisted. These are highly respected people in the society. They have PhD holders. They are well traveled. So we're not talking about people that are not educated. But because they have been molded and built in a way to see woman and marriage in a certain way, especially women, they cannot stand rejection. I remember my ex saying to me that he called his name, that no woman leaves them and survive up to 2 years. That it gives me
mm,
7 months to come back calling to beg him. And you know
mm.
what? I later discovered that not just him, all his what do they call people that falls in the first 10 years? What do you call them now? It's not clown. Contemporaries, yeah.
mm-hmm.
After so many years, I discovered that 9.5 out of 10 of them, their wives they have the same issues. The only difference is that I am one of the few rebel or courageous woman that will say, you know what, I'm not settling down for less. I am living. So the women that train them to the best of their knowledge, to what they believe is best, what the culture or tradition says at that time. Even we women, they used to tell us, is this how you be cooking in your husband's house? Is this how you be arranging clothes in your husband's house? From the moment you're giving birth to, all they're telling you and teaching you is how to look after your husband and your children. and they're telling the man the opposite. Oh, don't go and marry a wife that cannot cook. Don't go and marry a wife that cannot clean. Don't go and marry a wife that cannot wash clothes. Don't go and marry a wife that cannot pray for you. Don't go and marry a wife that cannot suffer with you. Nobody tells the man to marry a woman that he will suffer with or that he will endure with. Let's forget what the what is it called in the church says, for better, for worse than not. But what are we putting in our children's head? These things has been put in this men's head since they were teenagers, since they were boys.
Thank
So
you,
it is
Molara.
left to them as individuals now, just like we unlearn a lot of things and relearn a lot of things. So it is left to them as individuals to unlearn a lot of things and relearn a lot of things. That's just it.
All right, thank you,
Okay.
thank you for clearing here. There's a reason why I asked that question, because it looks like we're looking at it from the top, and we're not looking at it from the, like more or less like a fundamental thing. I like to look things in retrospective, like look at it from the front and then look back and just think, how did we get here? So because this thing, if it's happening to one person, then we can say, okay, this one person is the e-goat, that something is happening. Apologies, I don't mean to refer to anyone as a goat, but this person, but if you look at it, it's something that is very, very common. I have a brother that never cooks anything until we get to the UK. And I remember leaving the house, and even though I was married, and he was with me, and he was like, oh, and he started calling everybody in the family, oh, my sister left and she didn't cook for me. My sister left and she didn't cook for me. And this was my brother, my own brother. And he said, my sister, I said, are you normal? And I'm being realistic. I'm like, but this was as a result of what our parents make them feel like, I wish, they make them feel like, they make him feel like, okay, he's the king. So before his needs, other people's needs comes forward. Before his needs, so and I know Ron is looking at rejection. Rejection starts from upbringing. It starts from people not learning that when you get to a place and you didn't win, it's not okay. You cannot, it's possible for you to get to a place, talk to everyone, you are in a competition, you're in a relationship, but somebody say no to you, is no. But it doesn't just happen. People just don't hate rejection because they hate it. It stems from upbringing. It stems from why they said, oh, it's okay to fail. People don't agree that it's okay to fail. Failure to some people is a taboo. And if you have such mentality, it also means that if someone says no to you, like, no, I've never, why? No girl have I talked to that has refused me. All the girls that come to me, they've never refused me. But hello, you've met the one that's going to refuse you. This handling that, it shouldn't be a problem. And like someone said, it happens both ways. Some women too can't handle it. And the question is, can all of us on this call, the women, can we handle rejection? It's painful. So when we are looking at
very well, very well.
No, you might have trained yourself. You might have trained yourself to learn how to handle it. But it's not something that we can say that, oh yeah, I can handle rejection. I can, because it is.
Sorry, Malara, you don't learn you don't know how to handle rejection the first time it happens to you. Nobody. But one thing I've come to notice with a lot of women is we develop that resilience that when something happens and we get rejected, we're like, we'll cry, we'll go and cry to our friends, and then we'll move on. Because in a way, we don't have that ego backing that how dare they say no to me. But I don't think I've met any woman on earth who's been rejected that first time and she's like, oh, I'll shake it off and it's fine. No, you will cry. I know the nuisance I made of myself the first time I was rejected. I made a massive nuisance because I couldn't cope.
Sorry, now that people are coming to the real topic, can we now discuss?
No, Ron, we've been on the real topic. Okay, so Ron, listen, let me wait.
Let Ron say what he wants to say. Just wait. Yeah, Ron.
And here's the thing. The design of this subject today was to tell how you survived that experience and how you handled it. And the purpose for it so that people watching or listening can learn how to a thing or two from you on how you handled rejection. Some people went crazy. Some people were calm, like Abby said. Some people committed suicide, right? It
Mm-hmm.
could be man, it could be woman. So we are trying to learn and teach people how to absorb the shock. It's a big shock, whether we like it or not. Rejection is not favorable to man or woman,
Anybody.
especially when you've invested a lot of emotions into that relationship. Well, don't worry, I'll tell you guys. I just want you guys to,
No, it's true. You're
stop.
right. When you've invested a lot of emotion, and that's why it's both ways. I'm saying
Are you trying
somebody
to?
saying something about me being an African woman. Please,
Sorry,
that's topic is obsolete. Malik Musa, nothing
no,
about my Western life or anything has ruined the
wait,
African
wait,
woman in me. I'm an
no,
African woman.
Please.
wait,
I
wait,
don't know
Okay.
what you're
So,
talking about.
Abby, can
seriously,
I just say something? Can I
wait,
just
wait.
say
You
Wait,
talk
I
something?
now.
want Ifeanyi because we've been talking.
I'll
I
give
want
you the
Ifeanyi
word.
to say something.
Wait, are you
Why
trying
am
to
I
say
not seeing
something?
the
What do you mean
comments?
by
Oh,
that? I am right. That that you know that I'm always right. What do you mean that I'm right today? I mean something doing you today.
Who is
Even
that?
you that you are saying that and Ron is right today. I'm always right. It's not just today. I've always been right.
Ifeanyi, I beg, talk
Okay,
Jare.
please tell us before I become and confuse us again.
I, I,
Uh-huh.
Are
I
you know?
how would I say it? There's so
No,
many
I
bring
think
things.
that into it.
There's so many things you guys are saying here that I don't understand. If you guys can step back and look at what it is. First thing about rejection is it's both male and female. It can happen to anybody. The
Definitely.
second thing about relationships is never, ever, ever, never, never, ever in your life tell the story from one side. All the times, no matter how bad it is, by the time you hear the both sides of the story, you realize that you can be able to point out that this is where you went wrong, this is where you did not go wrong, this is where you went wrong. Why am I saying this? Is like I'll just stay with the topic. It is hard to talk about rejection. It's hard to handle rejection on any form, but it's also important to realize that you're not the first person most of the situations have happened to. In other words, if you look at it in some form of way, you might have been rejected or you might have rejected someone. Whether we did knowingly or unknowingly, it might have happened. So that lets you know that okay, if you can exercise some form of patience and calm and discipline, you probably see the bigger picture or why the person did that. So that's one thing. How to handle rejection. Don't react. Don't react. Actually calm down, step away from the situation and see what happens. Why did I say that? Because most of what you people have brought up, who raised the child that was raised, how he was raised, were all a function of the environment in which we were raised and experiences which were put into us. Half the time, so those experiences might not be good or bad. They might not be perfect or imperfect, but they fashion us in such a way that we react to certain things. That's why you see somebody tell you that there hasn't been any woman born that can reject me. He might have grown up knowing that this guy is a fine boy. Now when he starts to, and there you can also hear say they not born any man well to treat me like that. And somehow you might not have known, maybe your dad treated you like, let me put it in quotes, the lady you are, just not calling you a spoiled brat, but the lady you are. So there are different things. So you can look at the mirror from all facets and sides and then have it. But baseline is that rejection is something that happens to everybody and depends on what you take away from it. Coming to a few more comments down on the side, I had Walawa go off on a lot of men and how the men don't you shouldn't take out the anger on the woman, on the children. That's why I was very careful to say that when you hear the story, you always hear it from both sides. I find that in the West that most of the times you see a man try and he's denied access to his children, not in the most clear of ways, but in a very subtle way. I'll give you a good instance. No, no, no. I'm not disputing what you
Omolara,
said,
let him
but I'm
finish.
saying
Thank you.
have a balance. I'll give you a good instance. Last week, a friend of mine, he works 28 days on, no, he wants 14, 14. So he's 14 days off, 14 days off. So he gets 14 days off. Now, by court, he's designed to have weekends with his children. by court, the wife decided that the weekends he have with his children, which is the 2 weeks he has with his children, that the son has soccer in one of them and has baseball on the other one. And the ones he's at work, the son is free. Do you understand? By no design, it's almost like this guy is walking uphill. Half the time, like as I say, half the stories, there's half the story, there's half the other story. So there are stories where what is happening to the child is not that his father is not trying. Sometimes we as human beings, because of the way we also handle rejection, we deny the opportunity to. And I see people mask it under the fact that I'm protecting the child from the toxic man. Really? So what if we give the same opportunity? Let's be careful that what we're talking about is not just one-sided. It's not. It's good. I'm hearing the ladies speak and they're speaking from their heart. Let me try and talk from a man's point of view. Do you know how hard it is also to continue paying for something that you have no access to? So sometimes the decisions are not black or white. So he decides he'll keep paying the child support or paying whatever he's paying, but I can't even see them. With the hope that someday in future they would know that I was trying and I was still paying. Sometimes these stories most of the times I've had these stories. I've had that if you listen to both of them, we use the children. Unfortunately, the children suffer from what is the basis in the first point of view, that the marriage should never have happened because both your interests were different. So because of that, we tell the story. Tying it all the way back to rejection too is, I also wanted to point out that let us also be careful that we're still not. I don't understand when people hang the things that are happening now on the past a whole lot, because I would like to tell us that if I ask every one of us, we're probably all up heading towards our 40s, meaning our parents were all in their 60s, 70s. So our grandparents are almost all dead. So you see, the grandparents that give back to the parents that behave like that have given back to us, and we have given back to children that are in their 20s, and the marriage in the 20s are not lasting. So are we still dealing with the same cross-section of people, or are the people that we have raised, are they failing now? So if they is it that we did not, with all our good knowledge on how marriages should be, we have now raised people that their marriages are failing? So how is it what our grandparents endured? Again, when I hear especially when you talk about and again, we also have to think about that things are changing too. I also see men being caught in the chasm of where, if I walk into the house and I clean the house, do my thing, I'm quarreling with you. I clean the house, eat my food, I did not say anything to you, I made sure you were okay, and I went to bed. And you tell me, Oga, what is it now? Is that how we have started behaving? Are you eating outside? Is that what we're doing? Again, we're seeing people caught up in the lost identities of who and how can they be men and not be thought of as simps, or how can they be men and not be thought of high-handed, or how can they even be men and not even be in the conversation, and they don't know how to react. So that's one part that I see a lot. Why did I bring this up? I'm sure if you looked at the forum, there was something that happened this week and it just passed by. There was the whole talk about, there has been the whole talk about what do you bring to the table. And I asked the question, what do you expect a man to bring to the table? Do you realize everybody went quiet? Nobody answered it.
How do you see it? Where was this?
This was a few days ago. It's not even up to how many. I just asked.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it now. It says that you
It
saw
was a
it.
very funny question. And I asked it
No.
because
Because I open my phone does not mean that I read everything. My phone can be open and I won't even be there. So which one is you saw that I saw it? Were inside my eyes, or you were leaving the house with me?
And I asked it because there's always been the case of there's the guys asking what do you bring. I said, okay, let's reverse this question and ask, what do you expect this man to bring to the table? And he went quiet. Now, why? Because it's always the same thing. Whenever we say he who is without sin cast the first stone, and we go and look at ourselves in the mirror, we'll drop the stone and walk away. It is a function of, can we teach ourselves as human beings, men and women, what is the first basis of handling rejection? Walk away from it. Give yourself space and time to think about it. If you think about it, then you would understand that sometimes it's not about you, it's about what the other person is seeing. Sometimes you might not just be the perfect person in the situation. The same vein, and it's male female. If you like, put a obi and
It's
adapt to
that
it. It's
acceptance
the same thing.
of you are not perfect that is the problem
That's the thing.
on both
Secondly,
sides.
if we say that, then we have to realize what children are we raising. We are in a school system that says everybody gets an attendance medal. You realize how
Yes,
flawed that is, because by the time I get to 18 and I start to apply for a job is I'm taking you, I'm not taking you.
true.
So if that is it, so what happened to the days where there was healthy competition? There were positions, it's fine. But however, we have gone to that point where everybody gets a medal, everybody should do what they want, which is funny enough about freedom. Everybody should be acceptable. That it doesn't give you room to learn to handle rejection.
Hmm.
So by the time you get to that, male or female, we don't even know exactly what we're doing. But like I said, first step, and what I will contribute to this is, how do you handle rejection? Step away from it. Secondly, please, if you're in a relationship, one that worked for me, keep quiet. You see, say everybody they like the gist where they go talk. So they will come and ask you, you waiting you do, you will talk. They will go and ask the person waiting you do, they will talk. And there are different stories flying around. Take yourself away from the situation, take a break. If both of you could do that, this gist will die. You can, with clarity, actually look at what happened and where it's coming from and how it is. Thirdly, we all bring a lot of baggage to it. We think baggage is after you've been heartbroken. Honestly, baggage is even before you've been heartbroken. From when you're growing up, it's been shown half the time you realize that if you it doesn't even have to make you come from a broken marriage. It just depends on how you see relationships. That's how you keep packing tools into your baggage, including listening to us. Then one day
It's
you
not
go and unpack
even
it.
just relationships.
You
When you've grown up with parents
Mhm.
who have constantly told you you're the best, everything is great about, I like my dad gave me a very healthy sense of who I am, right? But I'm also grateful that he also pointed it out to me that even though he thinks I'm great and I think I'm great, not everybody is going to think I'm great.
The
And I should be
funny
able
thing,
to deal with that.
let me show you the funny thing about that is
Sorry,
you can
please.
enter the room and in a
I
relationship.
disagree on a couple of things that Ifeanyi said, but I'm just going to wait for you to finish.
Okay, okay.
Well, like I said, the funny thing about these things is I can't. I usually used to tell people, when you're dating somebody and you say this guy is very careful, you realize that when you get married to him, you say this guy cannot take risk. It's
Mm,
the same person,
mm.
same
The
room,
same
just
thing that
different room.
attracts you will frustrate you.
So, but it's always important that in also handling our relationships, so that we can handle rejection. When you walk into the room, always view the room of your relationship like a pure canvas. Let it paint itself. No carry the red paint where you get for the other wall. Come inside this room. Let it paint itself. And that only starts from, like I said, you remove yourself. That's all I have to say for now.
Okay,
Eh,
I have some questions I want to ask you before you go. So,
Okay.
Ron was saying something about emotion, investing of emotion. So when two people have like we've gone through this and that together. We I love you, you love me. We've bought property together. We've done this, we've done that. We have children, and then for some flimsy reason on either side, so either the guy will say, your yansh has not spread, I not do again. Or the woman will say, you're not hitting it the way you used to hit it before, I not do again. Or that kind of thing. And then you are asking for silence and walking away when the other person has made you so mad and it's like they're unreasonable. You're trying to even be like, okay, let us try and do it in a reasonable way. And the other person's like, I don't want you. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with the no fault unreasonable? Like, no be me vex you, but you're also being unreasonable. As in, now me you vex so, but you're also being unreasonable on top the say now me you vex.
The
How
the
do you deal with that?
sorry,
the
sorry. Before,
biggest thing, the biggest
eh,
thing.
sorry, 1 second, 1 second. For those of you watching, please, I forgot to mention this earlier on. If you're watching from my Instagram live, because I see that it keeps increasing from 10 to drop and all that, click the link on my bio. It will take you to YouTube, or you can come here to join the conversation. So I deliberately left it like that. There's a link on my bio you can click. Secondly, for those who have been watching so far, go and click like, subscribe on our YouTube page, and support us. And wait, Abi, how do you call that thing? You say algorithm, Abi,
Algorithm.
algorithm.
Maybe now you they talk the algorithm na me.
That algo juju thing that Abby is always talking about will work for us. Please just click it.
Me,
Wait now.
bro,
So click
you're
the like
lying in broad daylight.
and the notification. Please go to our YouTube page, and we need the subs. It's very important. Then if I okay after if I answers the question, then we'll go to Molara. Then I'll try and do my thing.
Run experience.
Mm,
Oh yeah, if I
so, so what one of the biggest things that every human being has to realize is, I always ask yourself whenever you walk to a situation, do you have your picture that you're carrying fire and water to every situation in a bucket? Do you want to pour fire? Do you want to pour water? But how first can you even get to that point where you picture of you're carrying the bucket to the situation is, what is your sphere of influence? In this situation, in this quarrel, what is your sphere of influence? If I talk now, this person has pissed me off so much. If I talk now, am I going to escalate the situation or make you keep quiet? If I don't say anything, it will still annoy the person. But if I remove myself from the entire situation for now, it doesn't mean the quarrel has ended.
you
It
never see
just
person with lock shirt.
see. It
You won't
just
come
means
out.
that
The
you
person
have
in lock shirt.
it just means that you have removed yourself from the situation. If you like lock the shirt, you have just removed yourself. Now, a lot of times we think removing ourselves is only physical. Sometimes it's also mental. Just don't be in that space. Why did I say be mental too? There's something my dad used to do. I don't know. Nobody they know they bite person body as they bite you when they partake light for Niger. I go they vex, they anger. Then my father will say this thing. Say, let me go and sleep small sleep. I said, but the gen is not working. Say, let me sleep small sleep. As old as I am now, imagine what if you tell me, Abby, if you tell me that my car has been bashed, what do you think I'm going to tell you now?
They also gotta sleep small sleep.
Okay. Because I now realize, and I saw it somewhere too, there's something they used to talk about. It used to make me laugh. Say, no matter how much you bring a memo to Napoleon Bonaparte, the emperor, that the emperor will tell you, give it 2 weeks and open the memo. And they asked him why once. He said in 2 weeks, if the thing is still important in 2 weeks, it will still be there. But if the problem is not important in 2 weeks, somebody would have solved it. The truth is, your sphere of influence is more important to you as you grow older and in these relationships than you ever know. So, what can you do? What can you control at this point in time? Your anger is yours. Your calmness is yours. Person they talk is in a relationship. Remember, there has been 7 or 8 years of buying house, emotion bottled inside. Don't unpack it at once. If you unpack it at once, we'll have this situation rolling. So what do? I remove myself from it first. It is easier to calm down and settle quarrel and relationship than settling it immediately and now. If not, hold on, you will have lawyers that are charging you for teddy bear. You will refuse to share 3,000 hours and 3,000 an hour. It happens.
Okay. So let's go to Omolara.
Molara.
Right. Thank you. First of all, first of all, I do not subscribe to whatever the, because if I say something about always hearing from both side of the party, there is nothing. And when I speak, I'm not speaking just for women. I'm speaking for both sides. Nothing justifies you, or nothing justifies a man not to be part of his children's life, no matter what the woman has done to you. Because let's not forget that no matter how bad this woman is today, you still slept with her to produce these children. That is what we see in my own society here in Nigeria. Apparently, you people that are in the Western world, the case is different. For the women that are using children as a weapon, the man is paying. Oh, you're not even happy that he's paying. Go to family court in Ikeja. You see queue of women that are coming to fight for child support. The man is paying, and you're still using these children as a weapon for the man, not preventing the man from seeing his children, saying, oh, because he's a toxic guy, whatever. But this is the same it is with his toxicness that you produce this child. you know I do not subscribe to that. Just I do not subscribe to whatever the both sides of the story is. Nothing justifies a man not being part of his children's life because he feels rejected by their mother. That is one. The second thing I disagree with is rejection just doesn't come. Rejection is like time bomb in relationships. It's not something that just come like that. There would have been arguments, quarrels, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I think this is where we women were different. Well, because when you're in a relationship, you can tell where that relationship, like they'll say, where is this ship going? Is this ship going to sail? Or is it headed for a rock somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean? So when by the time I am of the line of thought that before that rejection comes, you would have seen a sign or two, which is why I do not personally understand people that takes rejection over the board. Because, say
It's
for
not in all
instance,
cases. So
well, I'm talking in a case whereby you probably live together, you've invested emotion, you've bought houses together, you've put a lot of time together, you've been living together. I'm not talking about just boyfriend, girlfriends. I'm talking like proper relationship now. There are children involved, You would have seen it coming. You just don't wake up one day and say, I'm not doing again to the same person that you've been living together, you bought houses together, you have children together. On both ends, you'd have been seeing it that, okay, things are not going the way they are supposed to go. So I would think that if you find yourself in this sort of situation, like this is only one of the parts I support with Ifeanyi, is like you sit down and take stock now. That okay, this person has said he or she's not doing again. Is it actually doing us a favor? Or is she or he actually doing us a favor by taking the bold step of saying, look, let us take a break, or let us separate ourselves, or let us go our separate ways or something. Because I am not of the line of thought that rejection just comes without you seeing the signs before it actually happens. It's a different case if it's a boyfriend girlfriend relationship. If it's a proper relationship whereby you live together, the signs and wonders, or the signs and signals, would have been there before time.
okay, thank you
Okay,
very much.
Omalara, yeah. So we would now let Ron do his thing where he comes to explain. Please, let's just let him, because if anybody talks, he then starts all over again and does all that rigmarole that's very annoying. So let
Now the
everybody let
That's
him do
the
his thing.
flaw.
okay,
Oh
so
yeah.
the rules are
We
simple.
have explained the rule. Play the thing, let us move on, please.
You are all welcome to another segment of Ron Explains. You are all welcome to another segment of
Okay, so I've been waiting tirelessly for this very very important segment that will push all of us in the right direction. Because the plane was shaky at first, but we thank God for Abby's forthrightness. She was able to stay back to control. So now I took down some notes so that I don't go off. Um, I want to state something very clear that we failed to understand. Rejection, people who handle rejection badly it stems from, it's a psychological issue. It's not just that mothers raised bad boys, or mothers raised good girls, or fathers raised bad girls. It's actually a psychological. I just looked it up now. It's a psychological condition. There are people who just can't handle rejection. And who are these people? Like Abby pointed out, they are children, and that's why as parents you have to be careful, know how to balance out things. You keep telling your daughter that she's pretty, she's the greatest, or your son that is the best thing that happens is sliced bread. And deep down, you know it's not true. You're just trying to encourage your child. You see, children are very, very impressionable. They soak up anything you tell them growing up under you, and they emulate what you do too. Not just are they listening to you, they are studying you too. How you carry yourself, how you handle people around you. kids are taking notes. In fact, from 3 years old, just be rest assured your child is already photocopying everything you're doing. One. Two, there's always, every time we have issues about sexes, people say African men, Nigerian men, and I keep pointing something out. Nigerian men are not the most machismo men in the world. African men are not even close. We have Latin American men that are the most manly men on this planet. Now, when I say manly, like all these things you complain about us, just raise it to power 10. Latinos are like that. So when you want to use the example about people who are so machoistic, or I'm a male, I have dick, I can do what I like. Oh. In fact, in Latin America, it's something they even worship. That somebody even has a phallus is something they worship as a culture. So I'm just trying to put that out there. Then secondly, thirdly, see, people weaponize kids. Men do it, women do it. Okay, and I see it happen all the time. If I was giving an example, I'm sure I'm already understand where I was coming from. It wasn't justifying the man not supporting. He was saying that the woman placed the visiting or the time he had with the son on like football and sports time that a father and son are supposed to bond. She took those days away from the guy and gave the guy ordinary days where he could not do anything where he can't do anything really bonding activities with the child, with the son. So she knows this and she did it on purpose. And now the child might not understand why the father will not want to come and watch his ball games or sporting activities, because systematically the woman has taken it off the plate from the guy. And again, I keep saying it goes both ways. I've seen men who do things like spend excessive money. Like there are situations where the court says, okay, this is how much that is stipulated that you must spend as child support every month. This is what you're paying. Then these guys go behind, have these children for just 2 days, and start buying the entire mall for these children. Just say, daddy loves you. Daddy loves you. Then they start overbuying. Over time, children are children. They're not necessarily, who do you think they will fall in love with? Their father. Do you understand? That's also weaponizing of kids. For some people who don't know, women too can also do it. I've seen bitter women who did not handle rejection properly. When they wake up after praying to God, they'll come and start. Your father is a useless man. Can't you see? See the way you're walking. See the way you're carrying plates. You cannot even sweep. You're just useless like your father. You're just this like your father. It happens all the time, especially in Nigeria. It happens. None of you spoke about it. We see this happen time after time. Is it right? No, it's wrong. It's terrible. Now, there is also there are a group of people who just believe they are special, that nobody can reject them. I had a neighbor, a female neighbor, 7 years ago. Oh my goodness. This girl was pretty. Not that she's really, let me tell you what she does, and to tell you how vain she is. Every morning, if I'm walking out of my flat and her door is open, there's a mirror by her door. All she does is to stand in the door and be talking to herself. Like, she's actually from Congo, so she'll be speaking French. Like, can anybody be like me? Oh no, she's just be chanting and praising herself. I mean, I always felt it was a mental disorder. Like, I didn't see anything wrong. And there were many. I know guys who came to pick, like guys who tried to date the girl, but it never lasted 2-3 weeks, because I was one of the few people who understood that something was wrong with this girl. And to be honest with you, she is pretty. Let's give it a head to toe. She's pretty. But come on. Now, imagine that kind of human being. She's one rejecting guys, doing everything. Then all of a sudden, one guy grows the balls to say, I am rejecting you. I don't want you again. What do you think is going to happen? Have you not seen women smashing the screen? She will kill somebody that day. It's not even about, this is not even a joking matter. Same thing with guys who, when they are small, you're very handsome. My son is handsome. Then the boy goes around, handsome. Then one ugly girl that knows her value decides to say, I'm saying ugly because in contrast to her, the guy, I'm not saying nobody here. So let's say the girl that is not so attractive decides that you're nothing, you're not pleasing me, and I can dump you, and she dumps him. How do you think the guy is going to react? He's going to act like a psycho, because Oh, all his life he's been worshipped. Then all of a sudden, here comes somebody who nobody cares about, dumps him. So he goes crazy. Then we go to if I insisting about grading. Yes, grading too is no grading is non-grading is dangerous. When you put children through school and say no, let's finish primary school, nobody's first, nobody's second, nobody's third. You're setting up those kids for disaster. It sounds like a very fairy tale-ish, nice, emotional balancing act to do, but you're not preparing that child for the real world. You're preparing that child for your home, not real world, because when he goes out, just like Ifeanyi says, he has to compete for a job, he has to compete for promotion, he has to compete to get a contract or something. The reality dawns in, and when he can't survive, what do you think is the next thing? Oh, this life is too much burden for me. I have to commit suicide or whatever. Then people also carry over, and this is a serious one. I know people who carry over their rejection to the next relationship. You reject them, somebody rejects them, then they, for some reason, start another relationship. Then they feel the need to, for no reason, to just allow the other person invest so much in that relationship. Then out of the blues, they'll just say, I'm not doing again. And that's it. Just for the fact that they can do it or they have the opportunity to do it, they do it. So in all I'm saying, it's fundamentally a psychological problem, but like Ifeanyi says, the best solution to rejection is to step out of the picture. Step out of the picture. It doesn't matter how much you've invested in relationship, and just like Hamza said that somebody actually is in jail because of rejection. It doesn't matter how much you've invested. It doesn't matter how much finance, emotion, whatever it is you've invested. Once the rejection comes, if you've tried your best to win the person over and the person can't be won, please, I'm begging you, just step away. It's not worth it. Don't go beating up anybody. Don't go burning any car. Don't burn clothes. Just don't do it. Move on. You'll be better off for it, and your life might just improve better than what you were getting from that person. So that's all I have to say on this subject without deviating too much. Thank you all for listening, and
A round
any
of
other.
applause for DJ Wiki and his explanation. I only have two problems. I have two problems. When you were describing the men being, you were like, the man gonna, and bitter women. You always have to find a way to say something that is a slur towards women. When you were talking about men, you just said men, no. But as soon as it was women, and some bitter women, on Toro what now? Be coming down for Jesus. And the other thing is, yes, there are people who actually will not give you any warning because Amadara will say, that something must have triggered you. Some things, sometimes nothing will trigger you. To you, everything is great, the relationship is wonderful, all of that is going well, and the guy will just say, we need to talk. And you to be like, oh, we need to talk. Hey, what is it? Meanwhile, you in your head, maybe I think, or does he want to take the relationship to a higher level or something? The guy will just tell you, I don't do it again.
Please,
What do you
I
want to
have
do?
a question to ask, please, guys. I have a question to ask, please.
Okay, Mr. Hamza.
How do
Yeah,
you read comments after this?
Mr. Ifan, your face is shining. Yeah, look, I was during the week, I think during the weekend, I was listening to the radio, and I think they are talking about this same issue where they were debating on it, on this same topic that we were, and it's very interesting. And I want the ladies to throw a light on something. The lady they mentioned when what at what age in this rejection thing, at what age can you give your child for consent? I think that's how they put it in this whole rejection thing. At what age do you ask your child when to start, when they are probably dating, or when they're supposed to reject people? I don't know if I'm making sense of what I'm trying to say. At what
I
age?
think I'm sort of figuring out what you're saying, but Mr.
Yeah.
Hamza, it's not that, we will wait, and then when you now get to this age, this is how you reject a man, this is not how you reject a
No,
man. It's not like
I just
that.
want you to throw a light on what at like general, like even on like at what age would you start telling your child rejection, acceptance, dating, sex, this thing? At what age?
Mr.
Yeah,
Hamza, I don't know. I can't. Number one, I'm not a parent. So I think I'm the wrong person to talk about that. But
okay.
number two,
I'm
it's
open.
a matter of your relationship with your child. I believe that you start talking to your child about their body parts before they're 5.
Okay,
And you know the
fair
reason
enough.
why I said before 5, so that that child, and you build a relationship with your child, that if someone tries to do something funny to your child, they'll be able to say, no, you don't touch me here. And they can come to you and say, mommy, uncle so and so, auntie so and so tried to touch me in this place, and you told me nobody should touch me there. You should start having that conversation with them before they're 5 years old, because
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are crazy.
Abby,
People
please
be crazy out there. But
let me
this
pause
is
you
the
there.
thing.
The ladies also said the lady said something on the show too. She said there's some children that sometimes they get conversant with maybe their uncle, their niece, and that uncle that comes to our house,
I think this is a
and those.
subject on its own.
Yeah. So I think
I'm,
the lady was saying to them that the lady was saying to them when the lady she was saying, when is it okay for you to say, okay, if you see Uncle Ron, you can give him a hug. If you see that brother,
It's
that
not
is
matter
okay.
when you see Uncle
No,
Ron.
I'm, no, I'm just saying.
From when that child can comprehend,
Okay.
it's not a matter of when you see Uncle Ron, you can hug him. You might say Uncle Ron is all right. Meanwhile, Uncle Ron is doing something underground you don't know. So all you need
Exactly.
to teach your
which
child
Uncle Ron? Which Uncle Ron are you guys talking about?
is
What
your
do
friend that started it.
you
So the bottom line is this: teach your child that there's certain parts of their body that is untouchable, whether it's somebody that they know, somebody that they adore, somebody they want to play with, so that when that if they're playing with that person innocently, and the person's hand goes to where they can immediately go, no, excuse you, wait, we are playing quite all right, but you just touch me where you shouldn't touch me. And when you make the relationship with your kid in such a way that your kid does not have any fear, that is why you see that stillness that Ifeanyi was talking about that calmness. When your child comes to tell you, say, Yoruba women are terrible with this thing. When their child comes and say, mommy, but hey, guess who calm down, be calming down. You will call Jesus later, but just calm down. Let your child talk. Let your child not be scared that look at mommy's reaction. So when you say something like okay, and you ask all the questions and everything, then you can now display later. But unfortunately, sometimes, and I can only speak for Yoruba women, sometimes we overdo, you know. But going back to the whole point of rejection, look at parents now when their kids don't pass in school, or there's a fight in school that involved their kids or something, or the teacher excluded the kid from doing something with the rest of the classmates because they were being naughty. Look at a lot of parents now, how they go to school and go and fight with the teacher. What
But
message are you passing to your kid? Nobody
yeah,
can tell you no.
yeah, Abby, please, I want to
Um,
ask something. This question should go to Ifeanyi.
Amala
Ifeanyi,
I
has
wanted
been
to answer
waiting.
what your
okay,
question
Omara,
before.
You can also answer this one too. What do
Mhm.
We're
you
running out
do
of
you
time.
feel rejection could be means rudeness?
Excuse you? Sorry, I didn't get that.
Can you say rejection mean being rude in a
No,
way?
Okay,
now.
first of all, okay,
Mr. H,
so
can I answer this question by saying something to you?
Yeah.
I'll give you two instances, and just listen to my voice. Mr. H, you're very stupid. And Mr. H, you know, say this thing where you do, they very stupid. Though. I did the same
that's
thing.
it.
Which one would
It's
you
the
It's
do?
your
same message, but the
presentation.
delivery is
It's your
different.
It's the same
Yeah.
presentation that
thing.
matters.
Both of
It's
them
how
are
you present
rejection.
it that matters, and they're
Both of
both
them are
rejection.
rejection, but yes. In going further that to use it to answer to your question, when you say at what age do you teach consent or do you teach a few things? I'm learning in recent times that we can't separate life, so we constantly keep learning through life. The interesting thing about life is that the same way we learned language should be the same way we should have been taught a lot of things. Remember when you were small, we were doing blah 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 blah, and we started saying to the child, go. We didn't say go and bring something. We said go so that the child can understand go. Then after a while, we started saying go sit. Then after a while, we put go and sit. You see what I mean? So at every stage, there is something you teach a child. There's a time you start to teach a child. There's this thing we do culturally that is very funny but very nice. You see a child that is naked, they're like, let's all cover our eyes. And the child will laugh and run away. But he starts to associate that I can't be naked in public with the fact that everybody will close their eyes. Then we start to play, nobody should touch your. You see, we start to give it names. So everything has a stage. But if you jump one stage, you didn't teach about it, it makes it now hard to have that all in quote talk that you need to have with teenagers. Because there
Yeah,
was that
well,
gap of you not talking about it. However, what that eliminates is there is no particular age in which you now teach somebody consent, but there is every age in which you should teach something towards that direction. So that at the same time, the child starts to know when I should sit down well, I should not sit down well. Now, this has nothing to do with boy or girl, because a lot of times we
Mhm.
hear a girl should sit down, a boy should not. I sit like a boy. It has to do with a child learns at every stage. Ron, go ahead, please.
Okay, Ron,
okay.
start
So the
clicking
next,
on the comments so that I can read out the comments.
Amalara, quickly, because
I
we are
was going
rounding up.
to, well, it's okay, no time. So I just, it's
Okay.
fine.
Okay, so let me start clicking on the comment. Just wait a minute. Uh, oh, yeah, now,
Go.
Abby.
Okay, where is DJ Wiki Wiki? That's by Francis Monnier.
Can
Then
you repeat it
Felix
again?
Peter says, Good evening. Dan Jofet says, Breakup stories. Kayode Atabatele says, She chop his money. That is to the comment that was said earlier. Then the guy failed interview. That's also by Kayode Atabatele. Then why can't he just go and buy the action if that's what he really wants? Responding to Mr. H there. Then Malik Musa says, Yes, Abby, an alpha male will always be an alpha male. There are feminine duties that cannot be substituted. If there's no woman in your house, sit down and be saying, I'm alpha male. Don't do it. Then he also says the Western life and principles have ruined the African woman in you. I don't know what you're talking about. As I've said, when you're sitting in your house and hunger is killing you, sit down and be waiting for a woman to come and do it for you. Then he also said rejection, rejection, rejection. So true. Many people have the feeling of control. Uh-huh. What next? Felix Peter says, is this about men or rejection in general? I'm sure you noticed we talked about everybody. And then Malik Musa said, rejection is very difficult for some people to handle, which is true. It goes both ways. Both men and women and men suffer the same consequences. Yeah, in some cases, but not all. Cheryl Torres said, greetings, everyone. Greetings, Cheryl.
Girl.
Then Malik Musa said, Omalara, women use kids as weapons against the men, like it or not. Like it or not, like it. This is a fact. Once that father is denied access to his children, what do you expect him to do? Again, okay, I'm sure
I
we
beg,
pointed out
this is
that it happens
Nigeria.
on
Please
both
go on.
sides. But
You
this
should
is
come
the
and
thing that I
finish
want to ask.
Nigeria.
This is one thing I want to ask. If you really, really, really want something and somebody is standing against you, you want a promotion in your job, you know what to do to get that promotion. You know how to fight. But when it comes to your children, you'll be like, hey, the woman stopped me, and then you two just sit down there. Mm. If we have failed both as men and women to isolate our character from emotion, allowing ego to control our actions, which later either turns toxic or results into emotional breakdown. Okay. Then moral levels in society have decayed. Another issue is the kind of circles of friends we meddle in. The kind of talk we engage in will either make you look at your partner in a loving and caring manner or the opposite way.
True.
And then Chooks Ibe Oga says,
Hello, Chi.
hello, Abby and
Hey, your
friend.
network.
And then Abby the Wonder Queen. I see you too, boss. And then Ronald, Monye, I
Hey.
see you. At least thank God you won't let her. Then Francis Moye said, if I for president 2023. So, so if I they put you as president, so
Oh,
then
Molly,
Malik
you know
said,
what you're
some
putting.
guys are lucky they get rejected in private. I was rejected at the taxi park. Moreover, she said it loud. You are not the type for me. I only helped you to date with you. I was weak to the bone marrow. Did she have to repeat it several times and that's why she shouted it, or she just shouted it the first time? If
Okay,
she
Happy
did,
Fast.
then
Happy Fast. I want to display Happy Fast's program. Happy Fast, where are you? Happy Fast.
I'm here.
Okay, so
okay.
I'm
So we are going to
adding.
be rounding off on that. So what we're going to do is okay. Talk about it. Let Abby talk about it quickly, please.
Okay. As you know, my name is Abimbola Fashanu, aka Abifash, and the foundation started in 2018. Our focus is on education, health, and economic empowerment. We do help the vulnerable, as you can see in that picture. This is I think this is the chairman of a particular local government in Lagos, Wardofin to be precise, where everyone is getting tested,
Why
particularly
am I?
the pensioners, pensioners for glasses. This is one of the people who receive scholarship. We have our website, obviously, and that's me trying on the glasses in Lagos, Nigeria. And
Notice the same style.
Move on,
no,
move
no,
on,
no,
move on,
it's not
move
the
on. We don't
same.
have time.
This is also one of the outreach that we did. This is in Benue State. This was actually how like it was televised on the TV, NTA News in Benue, and it was really like a big outreach that we did. About 500 to 700 people were given
And it's
glasses.
not. It's also an opportunity to meet fine babes. So if you know you want to meet fine babes, I'm pleased.
I don't
Run. We are
think it's
trying to
about
finish early.
I don't know if it's about that, but thank you. Like I said, Ron did not show our website. I tried to send the website, it wasn't going through. But the website is going to be shown next week. And so thank you. And you can feel free to go there. You can donate through our website and you can look at us and tell us what we're doing well or what you think we should have to. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What we're going to do is we're going to put both the details of Mr. Hamza and Habifash on the group on the Facebook page. So anyone who's looking, please just put Mongolo Croonings on the Facebook, and you will see it, and you will see all the details pertaining to both organizations. And please contribute, and we will try our best to help also any way that we are needed. So there's a last comment from Cheryl. She says, "Thank you for another great conversation. Thank you for tuning in with us. Really appreciate it." So to every single person that's tuned in, that's been part of the conversation, that's been dropping comments, we really, really appreciate each and every one of you. I also want to mention that I know I've been calling Kayode Atobatele a Judas. He actually isn't a Judas. I just tease him with that. He's just been super, super busy, but he's actually taking time to join us even today. So a massive thank you. And of course, to the panel, to Abifash, to Mr. H, to Ifeanyi, to Omalara, and of course, DJ Wiki Wiki himself. So thank you
If
very
I,
much.
I'll
Okay,
pay you
one
back.
last
Oh, you
comment.
didn't let me talk.
Eh?
How do you say it? 1-0. I will do my own back because you took my time.
We're going into the after show so we can talk some
Don't
more.
worry, Omola. I
But
love
one more
you.
comment.
More love
Malik
like this. I
and
value
Musa
you.
said the education of a child is very necessary with proper moral values and respect. This will allow boys to know that ladies are not property. Okay. So thank you everyone and hope you enjoyed the show. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and click the notification on our YouTube page and share to everyone. Continue the conversation because this is a conversation that we all need to be part of. So till we do this again, same time, same place. Take care and God bless. Guys,
Bye.
don't leave.